Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Happy Friday.
A wet, chilly one.
Telling you what. Yes. I really needed to be dry to clean up my leaves in my yard, but darn.
No, that's always a tough thing. You know, you're ready. You're gonna go out there. You're gonna get it done. And unfortunately, you're not allowed to do that because of the weather. I understand that fully.
Yeah. And I can't do anything about it. It's not my fault.
I know. And they've only been sitting there for 3 weeks, right?
Right. I did. My neighbors hate me. Everything was in my driveway. So I just blew off, put them in a big pile in the yard, just so we didn't keep tracking leaves in the house. And the pile's still in my yard. Whatever. I'll get to it eventually.
That's right.
You know, back in the old days, we'd burn those leaves.
Exactly. Now we would get a massive fine.
Yeah, kids today don't understand, don't know what the smell of burning leaves and how beautiful that is in the fall.
You know, the old 55-gallon drum in the back or whatever was a gathering spot. All right, what do we got? 9:01. All right. We'll do it. I know folks are jumping on, but it is a happy Friday. More importantly, it's the 344th day of the year. It quickly wrapping up. So a lot to talk about. I may go off on a few things today because I'm frustrated, but hit a couple highlights and then Rich gets his pen out, right? He's ready to go. So we're set for Congress is doing a debt ceiling increase. Inflation, I don't know if you just saw the numbers came out this morning, 6.8% this year, which is the largest increase in 39 years since 1982. So, and then the rest of the week is just wacky. And I don't know of a better way to describe it, but Buffalo Starbucks votes to unionize. So they took one of 3 stores went to vote, only one voted to unionize. I don't know of a company that takes care of its employees more than Starbucks. I mean, I may be wrong, but from a national perspective, they have 9,000 stores. They give all their folks benefits, free college, and they voted to unionize. That's crazy to me. But also, Starbucks closes on Gervais Street, so we'll see how that goes. Hate to see that. I know they closed due to staffing issues, but I'm sure they don't close when a store is doing extremely well. So there's more to it. We just don't know it. But more craziness. And this is not to try to get political, but New York City yesterday, New York City Council votes, they passed a bill that allows non-US residents to vote in city elections. Not only that, they only have to be in New York for 1 month and have a green card in order to vote. That's just crazy to me. I don't know about y'all, but anyway, that's what's happening around the world. Closer here, it even gets crazier because whatever, I mean, it's in the water. Obviously, I'll hit local stuff later, but I really was disturbed this week at the General Assembly. They cobbled up on Tuesday in Ways and Means Subcommittee an amendment on a separate bill, basically saying any company in South Carolina that requires a vaccine mandate, they can't do it. I mean, it would prohibit any private company from issuing a mandate for vaccine. Secondly, it would say you can't penalize anyone for not getting a vaccination in your company if you can't fire them. And thirdly, it holds them liable and all the attorney fees, et cetera, if you do have one, if somebody wants to challenge it. Well, I'm telling you what, this is a far cry from the old days in South Carolina when the General Assembly deferred to private industry to run its own course. So there were 24 business organizations that signed a statement that said, look, General Assembly, y'all have, we're not trying to say pro mandate, against mandate, but leave private sector out of this. Let private industry determine what's best for its company and its employees, period. So at the end of the day, yesterday at 7:30, they ended up amending it. But the fact that it got to the floor of this, to the House, and in the middle of December and took this up is somewhat crazy and stinks of partisan hack politics. What I'll tell you is this. I'm disturbed for 3 reasons. 1, something this crazy got to the floor. 2, the leadership didn't step in and say, this is crazy, we're not going to do this. This makes us all look bad. Because before, we could always count on the leadership to at least have some common sense and some measured approach to what happens on the floor of the House. This goes beyond what I've seen in 20 years. But lastly, the fact of the matter is the only 3 people that made any sense in the conversation yesterday. Sorry, I'm going off on a tangent. I'm just sorry. The 3 people that made common sense yesterday were 3 rural trial lawyers, Democratic trial lawyers. Now, if the rural Democratic trial lawyers are stepping up and are helping the business community out, that is a 180 flip from what it's been for the last 20 years. And quite frankly, I've had this conversation with Todd. Todd Rutherford actually made a ton of sense. Caesar McKnight made a ton of sense. Russell Ott, old friend from Calhoun County, stepped up. He's from St. Matthews, did a great job as well. But the point is, there was an article this summer written about the business community being homeless politically, meaning in the last election cycle, the U.S. Chamber endorsed more Democratic candidates than ever before, and the Republicans got mad. Well, the Republicans are doing stupid stuff. Business likes consistency. We need consistency, not only at the national level, but state house, in the city, the county, et cetera. Businesses run when we know things are what's going to happen. But these political gimmicks of trying to say we're anti-vaccine or whatever. But the reality is, when the amendment was put up, there was no thought whatsoever in the unintended consequences. And so that's the issue, because you had companies, there are multiple hospitals that I see here today on here that they had mandates in place until this week, until the judge threw them out. But you couldn't just wait until the courts acted. You actually had to get your employees, you had to mandate a vaccination. You had to do these things because the government said so. So all of a sudden the courts ruled, and now you're going to say, oh, you're breaking the law because the government said so, but now we're telling you differently. That makes no sense. So I'm frustrated with the leadership that they allowed this to happen. I'm frustrated that the right thinks that they know better. And quite frankly, I'm appreciative of the Democratic trial lawyers for helping us on this. So anyway, I've said my piece, but that is, we need to expect more from our leadership. And I think that, well, we're going to have those conversations with them as well. But I think it's a monumental shift in precedence that this type of baloney happens. So anyway, coffee, I'll step off my soapbox. Let's see what else is going on. Obviously, redistricting on the city level. If y'all have not checked out city maps, it's on the city website. Not significant shifts, which is not too bad. But I've gotten a few phone calls of why they're doing it. Guys, this redistricting. Every 10 years, you got to redraw the lines, and that's just the nature of it. That's the rules. I don't want to put Jamie on the spot, but well, I'm going to put him on the spot. I'm going to congratulate him. One, school board chair, congratulations, Jamie Devine, but also Jamie, I'm assuming that y'all have to redraw some lines at some point in time. Or is that's not based upon census?
We do. We did it several years ago, but it's based on the census, but it's based on the lines for the seats.
Okay.
Four and three. So 4 district seats and then 3 at-large seats. So at some point we will do that in the next year or so.
Great. All right. Thanks. Thanks for being on this morning. Congratulations for getting your chairmanship.
Thank you.
So anyway, a lot going on in Columbia this week, but it's still kind of quiet relative, but we're seeing some activity. The restaurants I've talked to are really busy right now, doing well. The hospitality industry is doing extremely well. Traffic should be down this week with USC students out of town. We can all find parking places again. That's great. We love the kids being here, but it's kind of a nice little reprieve. They're gone. I mean that respectfully. So lots of shifts. What's going on with y'all's businesses? I'd love to throw it out for y'all, see what's going on. Anybody got some announcements? Nothing. I'm gonna have to start calling. My friend David Belton is on. He's paying close attention. What's going on with you, Mr. Belton?
Hey, good morning, everyone. Just trying to wrap up the season, the year. Said enjoying life, family. Trying to keep businesses straight in our industry as an accountant and tax professional. So all is well. Can't complain.
Good. Thanks for being on. I appreciate it.
Oh, you're welcome.
Monica's on. She was on bright and early. She's the first one. Good morning.
Good morning, everyone.
How you doing today?
All is well. All is well. As I said, I'm the owner of Grand Finale Event Center, which we are working on to come to Columbia pretty soon. We're looking for location and funding. So we'll be doing that pretty soon.
Great. We're glad you're here. Thank you.
I'm glad to be here.
Carl?
Yes.
All right. I'm drinking my Oliver Gospel Roastery coffee this morning. That's a pitch to drop by 1120 Taylor Street and drink some of the best roasted coffee by us in town, I believe. And also, if you've ridden down Taylor lately, you'll look the second business behind Mass General, which was a very ugly building. But we purchased that building just a few months ago, and we've already revitalized the whole outside. It's already been painted, refaced. We're going to have really modern new signage on the outside. The inside's almost practically redone. It's going to be a beautiful space inside. I'm not going to give up all this. This is just pretty much a teaser, but it is going to be called Hope Shop. Sometimes I say the Hope Shop, but it's going to just be called Hope Shop. And there's some different innovative social enterprise type things that we're going to be doing in there. What I can tell you, to not totally give it all away, is you can begin to, if you have a wonderful apparel, pocketbook, shoes, clothes, shirts, dress, coats, whatever, art, a vase, jewelry, any of that, that you just don't wear or use anymore, or you know someone like that, you can bring it to us. And we will be utilizing it in there in a really unique way. And that's all I'm going to say about it at this point.
Great. Thank you very much.
But you'll see that already with your eyes. We've already painted the outside, and soon we'll take the film off the window so you can see inside and see what we've done.
Well, speaking of my eyes are about singed here looking at the close-up of Chuck Whipple's head. Hey, wake up there, Chuck. Good morning. We got to zoom in on your noggin.
I was just, looking at and want to share that USC and Midlands Tech entered into a direct transfer agreement last week. And what this does, basically, it allows for the direct transfer of students from MTC across 12 programs directly into USC, guaranteed. So we're excited about the relationship that we're able to continue to foster with the university to create pathways for our students to not only get an associate's degree, but also to be able to further their career if that is their end game or desire. So we're delighted to be able to enter that agreement with Harris Pastides and the University of South Carolina last week.
That's great stuff. Those matriculation agreements are huge. So thank you to Dr. Rames and Dr. Pastides. That's good stuff. So anybody else got some good notes for the day? All right, healthcare folks. Poonam's on, Vince is on. Hospital's doing okay right now? I know numbers are ticking back up, but y'all hanging in there?
Yeah, Prisma Health, I appreciate you sharing. Good morning. Prisma Health, obviously, we're starting to see, well, just in general, we're starting to see a surge with the virus. The data continues to suggest that over 90% of the people who are hospitalized are unvaccinated. Well over 92% of the people who are in ICU are unvaccinated. And again, that number is pretty consistent with those that are on a ventilator unvaccinated. So as you all probably know now, we're encouraging people to not only get vaccinated, but get the booster. The booster appears to provide some level of protection against the Omicron variant, which is extremely important. And so we strongly encourage that. There are a number of community sites. Tomorrow we're going to be at Lower Richland High School from 10 to 2, providing first, second, and booster dosage for people. You can go to Brooklyn Baptist and get a vaccine. You can also go to the bus depot in Sumter and Laurel Street and get the vaccine. And you can go to DHEC, which is on the corner of Hardin and Bull Street, and be tested out there as well. So there are a number of locations. I'm sure I'm not pitching up all of them, but we encourage people to continue to do that. We're concerned about the surge coming out of the Thanksgiving holidays and now going into the Christmas holidays. So I'll end with this. Let me encourage all of us to have conversations with family as they start to arrive or come to our homes in advance of them arriving. One, don't be afraid to ask them if they're vaccinated. Number two, if they're not vaccinated, encourage them to be tested. And particularly as we want to protect grandma and granddad and others that are maybe immunocompromised or some type of chronic health challenge. The virus is real. I'll end with this. As I said, I like what Carl said up front. You know, I've been on a couple of radio shows, and there's an ongoing debate. Should you wear a mask? Should you not wear a mask? Should you get the vaccine? Should you not get the vaccine? The one thing that we have in common is that none of us want the virus. So what can we do to protect ourselves against this deadly virus? 1,000 people a day are dying in America. That's not a good number. And so we've got to continue to be vigilant and do the things that we need to do to protect ourselves. Carl, you mentioned the mandates that has gone off the table as we speak based on the issue that you pitched up from a federal and state level. So the hospitals are, the direct staff are struggling. They feel unfortunate. We're back in this cycle again. So we'll see what happens. I'll yield to Poonam, my colleague and good friend who's now over at MUSC. It's good to see her.
Hey, Vince, I think you covered it well. The only thing I'll add to that is yesterday we had an exciting memorandum of understanding signing at Richland 2 covering our commitment to gun safety in the community. So that was an exciting partnership. Prisma was there, MUSC was there, a number of school districts were there. I believe Jamie was there, I saw him there. So we're excited to move that forward in the community. But in terms of COVID, just like Vince said, I think the staffing is definitely a concern. We're going to double down on that. Recently hired a nurse recruiter just to focus on that effort alone. We'll keep you posted.
Okay. Hey, well, thank y'all very much. Thanks y'all doing. Thanks to the frontline workers. As Yogi said it best, it's deja vu all over again, right? We felt like we were just here talking about the holidays and worried about it. So anyway, but I did shout out to the old, it used to be the old child daycare at Prison. I walked in, got my booster done. Boom, it was easy. Really in and out. So
Yeah, that's at 12 Med Park, and encourage people. That's another site, another location as well. You can go there, and I think they're there until noon.
that's right.
Yeah, so you can drive in and get it done. What we're
Then
finding,
2 to
Carl,
4
is
quarter, yeah.
what we're finding is if the people really want to be vaccinated, they can get the vaccine in any number of locations. It's just a matter of convincing people who are in the resistant category, hesitancy category, to consider getting it. And that's why I want to encourage families to have conversations in advance of the Christmas holidays to try to encourage people to at least start or complete the vaccination process. We know that the vaccination works, a level of protection. Now, some might say, well, why are people who are vaccinated still getting the virus? The virus is not, I mean, the vaccine is not a cure, it's a level of protection. And what we're seeing with particularly those with the booster, if you are exposed to the Omicron variant, the symptoms are really mild. So it does show a strong level of protection for us, those of us that have gotten the booster vaccine.
Right. All right. Anybody else got anything? Thanks, Vince.
Good morning.
Hey, good morning.
Hi, my name is Makiba Gregg. I just wanted to introduce myself. This is my first meeting here on Zoom. I am the newest funeral director at Thompson Funeral Home. Didn't mean to piggyback after the hospital and COVID, but sorry. I'm originally from North Carolina, and like hospitals, funeral homes we're greatly understaffed. So I was recruited to come to South Carolina to help out. I help families pre-plan their funerals in advance, and I do conduct seminars. And because I'm new to Columbia, if anyone has any ideas of where I could have seminars, I pay for everything as far as lunches or breakfast or dinners. Please reach out to me. I will post my information in the chat box, but I'm happy to be here.
Well, listen, we're thrilled you're here. Thanks for joining us on a Friday Coffee with Carl. So we're glad to have you. All right, a couple of quick announcements. I think Henry put a flyer in for our Minority Business Accelerator. We are taking applications now. Those will be, we hopefully have a class for our cohort starting in January. Lots of interest. So if you know anybody interested, that please let us know. Also, a little housekeeping before I wrap up. I am on vacation next Friday. So this is going to conclude CWC for the year. I know y'all are wiping tears away from your eyes right now, but this will be it. But we're going on a trip next week, and so unfortunately I will not be able to be here. So we'll wrap back up on the 7th of January. It seems like forever from now, but it really isn't. But we'll just for your notes, we won't be here next week. But little fun facts for the day. Well, things you need to check out first, okay? Cola Today, many of y'all see that get the email every morning, Cola Today. They have a list of places you can go see and drive around and see great Christmas lights. So for those young kids or just adults that like to see the lights, go check that out. It's in there. Also, William Starr and the crew doing at the Columbia Ballet doing the Nutcracker. So make sure go check out. They do a phenomenal job with that. But quirky news of the day, not even quirky, but on this day, 1884, Adventures of Huck Finn was first published. Can you believe that? That was awesome. And most notably, even though we're enjoying a coffee right now, today are two famous days. You know how they make different days. Today is National Lager Day. So soon there will not be coffee in here, but out of respect for National Lager Day, we may have to participate. And for those that are really wonkish, today is the Dewey Decimal System Day. I just wanted to leave y'all with a downer because nobody knows what Dewey Decimal is anymore. So anyway, thank y'all for being with us today. Appreciate everybody joining this week after week, but I hope y'all have a fabulous holiday. We'll see you soon.
Happy holidays, everybody.
Bye.
Happy holidays, everyone.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.